How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the lounge. We do this every Tuesday night, and thank you so much for hanging with us. I'm Scott Gaines. We have an interesting guest tonight. We spent a few minutes before we came on just kind of visiting, and we kind of just got lost in time. So that's we apologize for starting a few minutes late, but when you visit with Stephanie Quayle, which, by the way, you're going to fall deeply in love with because she is one of the sweetest human beings on the planet, incredibly talented, got so much going on. So without further ado, let's bring her in. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful, talented Stephanie Quayle. Hello.
I'm just kidding.
I knew you were.
I had to be frozen. We were practicing earlier.
We were actually, because we were the running guests. I'll tell you what, let's do this. We'll open up the comments.
Yes.
And because what's funny is behind us,
yes,
we were talking about whose brick is real.
Yeah.
So while we're doing this,
yes,
while we're doing this entire thing, we're going to start taking comments from the crowd. Whose brick is real? Mine or Stephanie's? Whose brick is real? And Stephanie, you've already got people lined up.
Really?
Hi to you. Yes, absolutely. You have your flock check is already rolling in. People are so excited to see you. Yeah. And
thank you for having me. It's so good to see you. We did get to catch up a little bit.
I know, and it was so good. I haven't seen you since you came to do a show for me in Atlanta.
Yeah.
There at the end of just before everything decided to shut down and stop.
Yes, the world is different than it was.
We have created a different world, but we were talking earlier about what you were doing in the interim because nobody is able to do anything as far as music, but you have enough to keep you busy because we've determined you are the mother of many small furry children.
It's my miniature creatures. So when I found out things were looking a little different as every show is getting canceled and postponed and rescheduled, I came to North Carolina to our farm, our working farm just outside of Greensboro. And we had this grand plan of all our little mini animals that we, had bottle fed and doing this big release of, getting to share them with the public and the community and working on this cool coloring book. And it was going to be like, ta-da! And then it was, And so I've been here working on the farm, doing tons of virtual concerts. I mean, thank goodness for a ring light and a good connection,
Right.
Yeah, I think my animals are pretty much like get us a no tone there, lady. I'm always singing to them. But I'm really looking forward to human connection and being able to perform again.
Human interaction. There's nothing better than getting that feedback from the crowd, which, you are definitely a crowd person because I know you feed off of that. And I've seen you perform several times. Yeah. And if you haven't got a chance to catch a Stephanie Quayle show, which, by the way, 2021, she's going to be back out again.
Everywhere.
And she's going to bring her mini donkey on the road.
I mean, you're talking dream come true right now. If there was a way to put a donkey on we did talk about it. So I got to do the Kelly Clarkson show from virtually, right?
Right.
So Minnie P, my miniature donkey baby child, who's, her birthday's coming up in October.
You having a party?
She loves hats. Yes, of course.
Of course you're going to have a party.
We're in the time. You have animal parties.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. I never did this. So when I mentioned to, when Kelly Clarkson and their whole team was like, we got to get you out. Will you bring your miniature donkey? I was like, can I?
You're like, well, of course I can.
I mean, does she have to wear a mask on a plane? I mean, what are the rules?
No, because here's why. It's an emotional support donkey. You can't function without her.
Please say it again. Just say it again.
Emotional support donkey. Hold on, I'm writing it down. It's a new band name. Hold on. Yeah. I've created it. Patent pending. Hold on. Emotional support donkey. Yeah. It's done. It's written. It's now it's in stone. I have a witness. It's
I
done.
mean, I kind of want to try. I mean, I do remember hearing about someone taking a peacock.
Yes.
Remember
And
that?
yes, because that was on Delta Airlines when I was living in Atlanta, and
Yeah.
they did not let him on the plane. But the peacock was beautiful because it was hanging off the back of his shoulder, and then the plume was hanging. He looked like he was wearing like one of the Elvis drapes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely fabulous.
Peacocks are rad. They just are large.
Do you have those on the farm?
No, I wanted to.
Is the list smaller of what you don't have, or because I'm assuming you guys have quite a bit of stuff there.
So on the farm, we have weddings usually when we're not in a pandemic. We have weddings here all the time. My little brother got married here last night.
Go watch Stephanie's Instagram to watch her dancing.
Yeah, my mom, it was so cute, and
you found the rhythm.
It was so fun. Yes. We 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. No, it was super awesome. But evidently, peacocks can leave a lot of information about where they've been.
Right.
And so they're not the cleanest of birds. So it doesn't bode well for certain events.
Right. And yeah, when you're wanting to have the most memorable day of your life, and you don't want that covered in peacock poo. I'm thinking. Hold on, another band name.
Yeah, that's another great band name, actually.
Yeah, it does still. There's still not one better than Emotional Support Donkey.
Yeah. So no kidding. So it's wild to be. We were on the road like 6 days a week, show, and it was like, and now my days consist of the wildest adventures, Scott. Like yesterday morning, I got the word that one of our mama cows rejected her baby and had just been born. So then, I have a new baby child. And so in between, like getting my family ready for, my little brother's wedding, I'm like bottle feeding our new baby child. And I think his name's going to be Charlie. I don't know. I just love the name Charlie. I've loved the name Charlie since all dogs go to heaven. It's just
all animals go to heaven. And in fact, we had this conversation in this building not that long ago where we were talking anything that I believe, and I know you'll be on my side with this. Okay. Anything that shows emotion, that can feel emotion and can be sad, can be happy, it has all this emotion. You can't tell me it doesn't have a soul. You can't tell me that it won't go to heaven. And heaven is full of puppies and small animals. I firmly believe that, and that's what you get to live in your house of gold, as it says in the good book. And I believe you got puppies. I just think there's an abundance amount of puppies.
Well, the funny thing is I just had said to the husband, I said, I really think that with all this time, we should get a puppy. And he said, no. And then the next time we had a baby cow, and I'm like, well, that's kind of
it's a puppy.
Well, the wild thing about so for anyone watching that knows nothing about cattle, especially when a little baby calf, that first few hours is so important for the mom and the baby to connect. Just like
the bonding.
Yeah, the bonding is so important. So because we started bottle feeding this little calf, like he has imprinted on me and I've imprinted on him. Well, more me because he's a calf. But, like he now looks at me like I'm his person.
Right. So you are. You're your mom now.
I am. Yeah. It was like a big win today when he took his little bottle.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But see, now I have purpose.
Yeah.
Like I have things to do.
I have many things to do, but we, in between recording music virtually from here to there and everywhere, we take care of the creatures, and I smell like powdered calf formula.
And that's and we play.
Actually, if you could smell it, you'd be like, Steph, it might be time to wash your hair.
Well, I mean, you have the scent of baby cow formula. I have the scent of human little baby formula, because there's not a shirt that I don't own that doesn't have some sort of stain on the shoulders anymore.
But it's probably the best, right? Because it's your child's
I don't know if it's my child. We're going to be on Maury next week.
We're still trying to decipher, but
right now it looks good. It really does. I'm hoping.
He's the cutest.
He's adorable.
That I think for me, like, not only do I love humans, but I love little humans. And that's one of my favorite things at our shows. You know, we were talking, like, we were doing a deep dive on all things music over the last few weeks of just like, what is it that is so intoxicating and wonderful about what we get to do?
Right.
The people, and it's the families. And when I see those little kids, like, they're just like, you know, dancing to their own beat, or when they don't like something, they do this.
They are the truest form. Yes. They're the truest form of judgment, because a kid won't lie to you. A kid will tell you when you're fat. A kid will tell you when you're ugly. A kid will tell you when your clothes don't match.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and when they don't like a song, but they sometimes will get closer to the speaker just to make sure you see them like this.
Yeah. they want to make sure. Hold on, my wife jumped on here and she said, yeah, she wanted me to say she was sorry, but apparently, but Landry says thank you because
Landry, hi Candace.
He's been a lifesaver. He's been an absolute lifesaver. If you got questions for Stephanie, you can jump on right here and make sure you can type them in wherever you're watching on our YouTube lounge. There at the lounge, you'll be able to go in there and so put your questions in, and I will start dropping those in.
This is my new TikTok dance. If anyone wants to turn it into a viral moment, because I really want to know if anyone's got the brick correct yet.
Oh,
I can't see all your top secret comments.
That's right. No, I will show you if anyone. Yeah, our big thing is my brick real or is Stephanie's brick real? And okay, hold on. Sherry Kinney has a question.
Oh, Sherry, 2021.
And there we know, 2021.
But I will say this: the flock of Quayle, which is our fan family,
right?
They will probably be getting to hear things a little bit sooner than the world. If you are not part of the flock of Quayle yet, you just join us. It's free.
And how may they do that?
You go over to that little thing called the Facebook, and you type in flock of Quayle, and you just go join. And as long as it's all copacetic and happy humans, loving country music, and like, woo, woo, it's good.
Your next question. Oh, I'm going to let Sherry do another question.
Oh, here's the thing. I really love doing the laundry. My husband also really loves doing the laundry. So sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to get to see who's going to do the laundry. I mean, it's ridiculous that but here's the thing too, Scott, like, this is the first time in the history of my marriage, right?
Right.
So I've been married to David now 5.5 years. We'll be together 7 in January. We've never been together this much, ever. The most we were together was like 2 weeks. So
every artist I talked to, Lee Bryce was on last week, and he said this is the most time he spent with his wife and his kids. He said, I think it was 10 or 11 years. Of course, his kids, but he hasn't been with his wife that long. But he said this is the longest he's been at home having to sit. He said, I won't get this time back. He said, there's ways you can look at it and go, you know what? Yes, a lot of his band members aren't working. Yes, there's tough times, but he said, I'm getting to watch my kids grow. I'm getting to go and do things with them that my dad did with me. And so, yes, there is some value to it. But yes, I do understand there's so many people out of work, and it is very difficult on the music community. I mean, you got band members.
It's bonkers. My band members, thinking about all the venues that are, just trying to stay afloat. I think a lot of times, and I think this is that time where we're all pausing because we're being forced to recognize just how many people get impacted. Just our industry is just one of so many.
But I mean, if you think Yeah, restaurant, bar industry is feeling it, and then there's cutbacks everywhere. I mean, across even in our industry, in the radio industry, because no one is buying advertising, so in turn they have to let people go. It has been a very difficult time for a lot of people. My midday guy Caleb came on here and he was talking about peacocks.
Oh.
I have to figure out, I have to actually ask him tomorrow. Apparently he must, I don't know if he has a peacock, but now this is going to start a random bit of question.
I think that's amazing to know. And it sounds like
Caleb also has a young child. So I'm going to go ahead and put off that his child's probably harder to sleep by than noisy, because kids are just loud.
I mean, like, for example, guinea, I've heard, are really loud.
Very. Now, I was raised around guinea. Yeah, guinea are loud, and they multiply like cats. I mean, once you get one, then there's just forever there.
Yeah, I mean, I did kind of want to get a flock of quail bird, and I know everyone watching, it's a covey, I understand, but flock sounds cooler. And but we have, they're coyotes, they're supersonic hawks. That are just like, they're just waiting, I don't know.
That one more time.
I don't know the hawk, but that was my hawk.
That wasn't even close, but I just wanted to hear you do it again.
Here's the truth. Like, I've got some, like, cat. I can do a really good cat.
Go. Do it. Don't lie. Yeah, go.
Okay, close your eyes.
Okay. If you had the purr with it, man, I think
I can't purr though. I'm the worst, but I can speak. Like, I can speak to cats. That's the thing.
And cats pay attention.
Yeah, I can have like whole conversations.
That's like a gift.
I mean, another thing that should work on TikTok, but nope, no friends.
Nope. Except we're discussing TikTok, and if you have a TikTok account, you obviously you're on there.
Oh yes.
She said that she got corrected by an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Let's not say corrected. You got called out.
I got called out.
By an 11-year-old.
Why? What? How? Huh? And I was like, whoa, huh? I was really.
What did you do wrong that you got called out on?
She's like, she doesn't even have any followers. I was like, what? And then I started following her, and then she followed me back.
And you're like,
it's honestly, TikTok is high school all over.
It is. It's like the early part of college. It's like college. It's like high school with ashtrays.
I get that.
But there are little kids on there, but most of them are adults that are trying to be young.
Yeah.
It's more people my age that want to dress like they don't belong there, and then they want people to think they're a lot younger than they are. Yeah. It's not.
I'm just fascinated by the whole thing. I mean, everything about everything. It's all fascinating.
I'm fascinated by fascination.
I'm fascinated by fascination, and so I'm internalizing.
So somebody asked, Sherry is just, I might as well let Sherry do the interview.
She's amazing. Is she
the head of the flock
on the West Coast, and they have a ton of fires. So
yeah, she just want to know how your hometown was.
Yeah, our hometown got hit by some. We don't really know how the fires started, but I flew home to this really cool activation with Gibson Guitars, and so I got to come home to Montana. And the night before, we had a very manageable fire, and then the wind shifted, and then it was. What do you do? I mean, fire is such an interesting phenomenon. Like it's.
Right.
It's I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up with it, because in Montana we've had so many wildfires.
Right.
Like what I can understand the most and the devastation of that. I didn't grow up with hurricanes. I didn't grow up with earthquakes.
Right.
So it's just super heavy. But our community rallied in ways that it just brought me to tears. And on top of it, you're dealing with COVID. So all these firefighters are just managing so much, and our first responders. It was just like, I will say this. I feel like, yes, there's a lot of noise out in the world, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to it, the heart of the people is so strong. And I think throughout these last, 6-7 months, I've fallen more in love with the human spirit because there is so much good, even though we always don't get to hear about it.
There is a lot of good out there, but we get the media, and I don't consider myself the media. I mean, there's news media. The news media paints a picture, and they want to make sure they paint pictures. I want to make sure that we tell good stories. I make a point on my radio show to make sure I tell good stories. I want to try to keep it positive, because there's so many places, like you and I were talking about going to Facebook.
Yeah.
And there's so much negativity on there. There's negativity everywhere, but there's just a lot of the political mudslinging and things like that. I just don't have time for it. I don't want to give it credence. I'm not going to, I mean, it doesn't matter who you're voting for. I don't care. I could care less.
Right.
There's so much in life that we need to be bringing out. There's so much good. We need to be bringing good to people. And there are people like you were talking about on the West Coast and even out that are suffering from fires. The Gulf Coast is getting ready to get attacked by a hurricane. There's a lot more bigger things out there that I think deserve our attention.
Well, assuming the best of people and leading with kindness, you can never go wrong with those two actions.
Oh,
like those, like you can't go wrong when you walk that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think this sums up TikTok, though.
Big Worm. TikTok is a human zoo on your phone.
I don't think that. Hold on, I'm writing that one down. Human zoo.
That's good. That's a good one. And I'm so glad Big Worm got his postcard from Montana. I sent the Flock of Quayle postcards from Montana.
You really spoil those people, don't you?
Well, it's just a fun. Like, who doesn't love to get mail? Here's what I will tell you. One of my greatest events during COVID was walking with my husband to the mailbox. I'm like, honey, would you like to go on a date? He's like, where are we going? To the mailbox.
Mailbox.
Let's go. And it was like, oh, let's walk slowly so we can really
soak up this time together. Yeah. I think it was Thomas Rhett that said that was the big thing that he and his kids would go do, that they would just walk down to the mailbox. He said and his kids would tell him, it's like 3:00, Dad, it's time to go down and check the mail. And they would all load up and go down and check the mail. And I just don't. Fortunately, I've been pretty lucky. We have been able to keep our social distance here. And so, but yeah, I mean, I know that. So you have a place in Montana as well that I assume.
That's where I'm from. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And then we have a little townhouse in Nashville that, fortunately is still there.
Yeah.
Checked it a few times. I've been into Nashville a couple of times to record vocals. So as we've been recording new music, we've been able to do all the instrumentation from different places. So musicians, are in their home studios, and it's the wildest thing. So we're watching on Zoom on mute, and then we have this audio link to listen. And it's just, first of all, the fact that we can, as musicians and artists and writers, is such, there's so much good music just ready to come out of every crevice.
That's what Lee said last week, because he was like, 2021 should be the year of incredible music, because everybody's had an opportunity to sit and work together, and everybody has had time to be able to do that, work on your craft.
Yeah.
And you're not racing and trying to figure something out. You've got time to work and do something. Yeah. We've been babbling a while. We need to make sure you get some music in, because people don't.
That's what I do. I make this.
It is what you do, and I would really love. I'm sure the flock would love you to do a song.
I do love to sing for you.
They would love to. They would love to have you sing.
Thank you for all your support. Yes, you've always been very, very, very kind to me, and it means the world.
The flock or me?
You. Well,
thank you.
The flock is awesome.
I mean, say the flock is. The flock is there. I thought you were I thought you were.
I was just addressing. I was addressing you.
Okay. Well, thank you. And yes, I'm a big fan. Always have been. So yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we have time for one or two songs.
We have time for two songs if you want to do them.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna make it dealer's choice. Set up what you want to, and then I'm gonna let you work your magic, because that's what you do.
When I was a girl, I'm just kidding. It's so good to see you. I hope everyone watching who knows this or who doesn't is just getting a little reprieve from, I guess it's a Tuesday.
Is it? Oh, yes, it is.
It is a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Well, this
All
song,
day unless they change it.
say that again.
All day unless they've changed it, and I'm not aware of.
Honestly, anything is possible. They could go to a 5-day week, and they'd be
With
like,
this year,
no more.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. We've eliminated Thursday and Sunday.
I mean, you say that like a joke, and then watch tomorrow.
2021, anything's possible. I have my pen and I'm writing it down. All right.
Thursdays are gone.
Thursdays are gone. Band name.
This song, I've loved it ever since the first time I heard it. We recorded it. It was off the If I Was a Cowboy EP. And then we did the Montana sessions where we just did it live in the living room. And I think that right now we're all feeling a little uneasy and unsure, and we're not quite sure how it's all going to look. And I think that's really a beautiful thing to, we just have to figure it out. And that's what we do. I'm the queen of making lemonade out of really rotten lemons. Okay.
Yes.
Like those ones you find in the bottom of the trash can.
Right.
Break those puppies out. We're going to make some lemonade. But this is called Untitled. Everybody knows a song where the cowboy rides away, the one with a good tie on, innocent coming of age. There's one about the white-eyed girl, runs down her dreams out west. Then there's one about me, that one ain't finished yet. Still untitled, unbridled, turns like a radio dial. It's the heart of a child into the wild. It's a front door crash course, one horse town survival, a revival. It's the verse from a back row Bible. Still making it up as we go along. Now I'm calling this song Untitled. It's untitled. Starts out sweet snow, sway of a backyard swing, the good stuff all kicks in. Right around 17, and it sounds like summer. It hits like a kiss, crowns in the night, but the ones you miss, it's a prayer, it's a party. It's only getting started. Still untitled, unbridled, turns like a radio dial. It's the heart of a child into the wild. It's a front porch crash course, one horse town survival, a revival. It's a verse from a back row Bible. Still making it up as we go along. Now I'm calling this song Untitled. It's untitled. I'm a needle on vinyl, I'm a red road disciple, I'm a blue jean anthem, best parts ain't even happened. It's untitled, unbridled, turns like a radio dial. It's the heart of a child into the wild. It's a front porch crash course, one horse town survival, a revival. It's a verse from a back row Bible. Still making it up as we go along. Now I'm calling this song Untitled. It's untitled. I'm a needle on vinyl, I'm a red road disciple, I'm a blue jean anthem, best parts ain't even happened. I'm untitled, still untitled.
Ole.
Ole.
Very good. Man. Do you is there parts of this
Music?
I know. And it's so neat. And when I watch you guys do this, and I've been doing these for, I don't know, 4 months now, it's so fun to watch you guys just get into it, because you can see how much on your face while you were singing, I could see how much you really truly miss
Mhm.
doing that. And but I mean, you have so many people that are literally worshiping the ground you walk on. And like, I think you need to make Sherry the head of your flock of committee, because she's like, literally will travel the country. People just dropping in the comments and literally, in fact, it's just, people are just saying how much they love listening to you, how they missed your voice, they missed you being out there, and just been too long.
I'm going to wear a bubble suit, okay, Scott? I am going to be in like a full bubble suit just so that I can
just so you can go out and be able to.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. You could see. I really wish people. Yeah, mostly just people just saying how much they miss you and just how much they wish that they could, come and be with you. There's so many folks watching, and they really just totally miss everything about you.
We will do all the things that we do, and we'll even do them better together. It's just a little temporary. It's a temporary moment for all of us to just take the time. And
if you do a full hazmat suit,
yes,
that
suit probably.
Yeah,
full ready.
Full hazmat. Yeah, I would pay good money to see that.
I feel like that'd be really warm. It'd probably be great during the winter.
Really? No, I think it really probably would be.
Can you get on Amazon, you think?
You can get them.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Somebody said you should make merchandise with them.
Oh shoot. I did ask I asked my mom or my dad, because those are the people I talk to because I'm a child.
Right.
I'm like, Mom, can I wear my motorcycle helmet on a plane? Like, could that just be my mask?
Right.
I'm gonna carry it anyhow.
Right.
And she said no.
I know you've gotten into. Mom said no. I know you've gotten into motorcycle riding.
Yes.
And you're quite the Harley girl now, right?
I love it. I mean, I have such a long way to go. My mom's been riding for like 20 plus years.
Right.
And we actually got to do this really cool video project with Harley Davidson, and where she was teaching me how to ride and mentoring me through that, because she taught me how to ride horses. So this whole cool horses to horsepower thing that we were able to do together. And there's some more stuff down the road that we'll get to do. I have found that it's the best place for me to rehearse inside my helmet. Yeah.
Well, only you can hear you. And
exactly.
And you're like, okay.
It's a great, I don't know what it is. Like I go into this, like, I don't know, I'm focused on the lyrics and I'm focused on the road in front of me. And it's
right.
just freedom.
I love that. Now I assume husband rides.
Husband does ride. So
Is that what got you started?
Well, first of all, he can do everything. It's really frustrating. Like, it's like, here's a golf club. And then it's like, really, guy? Really? I mean, I look like I'm, anyhow, they don't even allow me on golf courses. But
they do me, but I'm only allowed to drive the drink cart.
I think they would probably let me have that job.
Yeah, I can drive the drink cart. I'll haul anybody around. I can drive the golf cart. Yeah. I am not now. I could go waste a bucket of balls at Top Golf and drink. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. But to go out and play competitively on a golf course, it is a waste of everyone's time to allow me to do that.
Here's the truth, though. I need to figure out the why, just like with TikTok.
Yeah.
In TikTok.
There's a reason.
There's a reason. I'm doing like a self-discovery. I'm taking this time to, listen, when you're on the road 6 days a week, it's amazing what we can get done in a day.
Right.
Now I'm just kind of like, okay, what are all the things I've ever wanted to do that I didn't have the opportunity to do because I wasn't in one place, right?
This is the time to be able to do all those things, because now you have time on your side, and minus taking care of the mini. Right.
It's amazing.
What's the furthest you've ever ridden on the bike? I mean, you guys do long trips, or you do day trips?
Not yet. I haven't. I go by hours. I don't even count my miles because I'm so focused. Gosh, only like probably a few hours at a time.
Right.
What I know about motorcycles is the following, and it's the same thing with horses. The difference is you only have to think about one heart, right?
And stay on.
And stay on is like the balance is very similar. Just knowing what's in front of you. But I'm the kind of person that if I push myself too far and then it doesn't go well, that's not a good plan for me. I'm like the queen of muscle memory. Even with like guitar, you know, like when I practice, I don't let myself get frustrated. If I hit a wall with my guitar practicing, I'm like, all right, I'm going to wait. I'm going to step back. I'm not like going to force it to happen. And so I think that I'm very incremental about my risk taking, if that makes sense. Like I like to do things the right way so I can do it the right way for the rest of my life.
Because you don't want to make a mistake.
No, you cannot. Like that's the thing. Like on my horse, I can kind of get away with more because I've been riding since I was like in diapers, and I can text and I can sit side saddle. If my horse starts bucking, I'm kind of like, well, whoops. Like I should have been paying attention. And then, you know, I can, but with a motorcycle, you have to be focused. And it's like, you can't be distracted. And I love that because everything's so distracting.
Right. And if you have the attention span that I do, it's very dangerous. So I have to, I mean, I can ride. I was raised on motorcycles. So I mean, I get it, but yeah, I have a very short attention span. So yes, actually getting on a motorcycle is actually good with somebody with a short attention span because it forces me to pay attention. Because I mean, I can run it. You are just like me, where you can go in about 13 different directions in about 3 minutes.
I get it from my dad. I've realized that. Look at how big that hand is. Yeah, like it's.
See, you just did it. You were like, oh my God, look how big my hand is. Look, yeah, that is such a look. Squirrels. See, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah, here's the thing, it's because the level of intellect, right? The reason why you can go
maybe for you
is because you're like ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Maybe for you, I will give that to you. I am literally, I'm lucky that I'm sitting up and talking. So
I don't believe that at all.
I really am. It is a challenge to get from point A to point B. If I don't, I'm a danger to myself and others.
I just don't believe you.
Yeah, it really is quite frightening.
Let me ask you, with your additional time, now that you have a little human,
with all the extra time you have, you know, full-time job, wifey,
babe of wife too, because I saw her little picture come up when she was holding the little angel pie. And is there anything that is there something that you have found yourself doing over the last 6-7 months that you never you're like, oh, I'm going to do this because this sounds interesting? Are you painting?
See, that goes back to talent, and I don't possess any of that.
You don't have to have any talent for painting.
I have zero talent.
All you have to say.
I told you, sitting up and speaking is about as good as it gets, and speaking is actually at random. I don't know. There are times I actually wanted to start. It's funny you brought up painting. There was times I thought I could, and then I realized I have the handwriting, and I thought I could write too. I have the handwriting of a third grader with fingers missing, so no one can read it.
You mean for print?
I think I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
But not in the written form. I wasn't given the gift of speech. So
you mean like writing? Speech.
Writing.
Yeah, right. You have this little gizmo here. You just turn it on the voice memo, and you're just like.
It never listens to me, and it always says all the wrong things because I try to voice text, and if I actually send 3/4 of the voice text that actually it says, I have to go back and correct it. My phone doesn't understand me. It thinks it thinks I'm just as silly and goofy as I really am.
So first of all, if you're talking about Siri, she has an attitude problem. Um, Siri's very tough to communicate with.
Yeah.
It's programmed in her to just make you have days sometimes. But
Okay.
I'm like your voice memo, you can just speak into that and tell all your thoughts. And then there's these little, these little applications, they call them, where you can just put it in and it will print it. Oh, type
It's an
it out.
application.
Application. Also known as
Yes.
an app.
The kids call it an app.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable doing that. The kids call it an app.
It's calling it an app is lazy. It's an application.
It's an application.
Yeah.
Now, so you've got new music happening. I know we need to get back on track because you and I.
I love where we are. We're giving people a variety of information.
We're really throwing all this out there. With the new music that you got coming,
yes.
I mean, please the flock of Quayle and tell them what you've been working on, what you got coming up. And I know you've got tons of fans on here that want to know what they've got coming and, kind of dig them in a little deeper in 2021. What do you have happening?
Well, I think that it's going to be, I mean, again, with touring, that part is getting figured out. Like we're starting to see more shows kind of coming, right. like November, December, and January and such. And that's like, I'm so excited about that because I'll be playing a lot of the new music, which, I feel like as a listener and as a fan, when you get to hear the music before you hear the recording of it, like when you get to hear it live, it just takes on a whole different life.
I agree.
I just can't wait to see the response. I've had the opportunity through the course of our career of, watching songs happen on the fans' faces. And that is how I have been able to, know if it's connecting or not, and know if the words make sense from a heart standpoint, right? Like, did I change your chemistry? Like, did something happen that made you go, I want to listen to that again? Or when that song's available. And I love all that. What's a little nerve-wracking about creating new music is like, you just don't know, right? You don't know how people are going to, and that's the excitement and the curiosity of, just being an artist and, continuing to strive to be great so that, people still want to hang out with you on the interwebs.
Well, I think you don't have that's not a problem for you. That's not it. That's not an issue for you. And you have plenty of fans in here that's watching you that pretty much hang on your every word and respond to pretty much everything you've said. Oh yeah, they are. They're
family. I mean, they are my family. They've been with me a lot of years, and we have some new members and some members that have like known me for over 10 years, and I think about that, this journey that we've all been on, like when we first met, you think about that back to those first moments, you're like, who's this chick? And
who's this talkative little thing?
This lady with a country song. So it's exciting to watch the music find its way. And also, as an artist, just be, continually finding my voice through my lyrics and melodies and songs and, and then hearing it in all the places, which is just bonkers,
What You Drinking About was probably one of the most catchiest song. It's got such a catchy feel to it. And because that's one of those songs that there really is there's a skill to that, because that's one of the songs that you can literally, once you hear first verse and chorus, by the time you get back to the chorus again, you're already singing it.
Yeah.
And that is a very rare thing to have that kind of, to be able to grab onto somebody's conscience and then go, hey, look, here's a song you're going to remember, and here's something that's catchy, and you caught that with What You Drinking About.
This song has been such a gift. Like when we wrote it, again, like we didn't know what we had when we wrote it, which I also love about the magic of songwriting. I can hear a song and be like, oh my gosh, that's a smash. And then sometimes I have a much more critical lens of my thing I'm, a co-writer on or write. And so when that song just came alive, and then again, like seeing it happen and watching it through, the eyes of our fans, and just getting to do the video with my husband and our cool deal with Bass Pro and getting to shoot that in Memphis and just watching it, you know, take on a life of its own. You know, I think one of the Flock of Quayle members reached out to me. I don't know when it was over the course. It was before the pandemic, and she's like, I was just sitting there and my dog started barking, and I'm like, what you barking about? And it was like, they became this thing, you know, what you camping about, what you think, like all these different whatches. So cool.
So where did you shoot that in Memphis?
So the Bass Pro, which is in the pyramid.
Right.
There's actually a whole lodge in there. I mean, first of all, it's its own world. It's
huge. No.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So we actually shot in there. They had this kind of bar overlooking the shop that we shot the video in, and had so much fun. And it was just, I love creating visual versions of what I create in the studio. Like I love music videos. I'm obsessed with them.
You actually have that. Yeah, the video is just as catchy, and I think that's part of it, is that, you know, you following you through that song. Yeah. But I'm sure getting to have husband in a video was a lot of fun. Is he willing to do stuff like that, or did you have to talk him into it?
There's no talking him in. He is willing.
Always.
Here's the thing that's happened though. I mean, I have a little bit of a star on my hands now. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, people are like, "Oh, are you the guy from the video?"
Well, you know, once again, doesn't hurt. He's a good-looking dude, and then he can do everything, and then because it makes guys like me look bad.
Like the most fun of that video was me really trying to get him to laugh.
Right.
And he would not, like, he stayed in character, which just blew my mind. And so I'm like whipping my hair and I'm throwing ice cubes at him and I'm whipping my rag, and like he barely cracked the chin. I'm like, come on, man. And no, we had a blast. No, we have a lot of fun doing that kind of stuff together. And now I think now he's gonna have to be in every video, because he's like tasting. He's like, oh, this is fun.
He's going to end up now. He'll have to end up doing his own meet and greet at CMA Music Fest in the summertime. He'll have to have one of his own.
This guy, I'll be like, I've been doing this for so many years, and you just show up in your cowboy hat.
That's it. That's typically all it takes.
Yeah,
you have all these female fans in the Flock of Quayle, but realistically, they're fans of husband. That's exactly what it is.
Pretty great. No, it's awesome. We do have a lot of fun together.
He's truly your ride or die, and that's so cool to see you guys. You can be best friends with your spouse.
Yeah,
and that is, I laugh more with Candace than I do with anybody, but she gets me. There's just like being married to a musician, being married to somebody who's on the radio. It's the same thing. It's like she'll always go, you can shut that off, because it was just it's and I try to do. I'm almost Chandler Bing, where it's just joke, and she's like, you can shut that off. When people ask her, do you listen to him on the radio? She goes, no, I don't. And people get so shocked. So why don't you listen? Because I have to listen to him to the other 20 hours of the day. There isn't anything he's going to tell me there that I won't hear maybe twice at home.
So do you share what's going on with your family? Is she cool with that, or share?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You told that story about us.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You told the story.
I told the story.
She's okay.
She was okay with it.
Hey, there you go. Hey, that's a good one. That is a good one.
I share everything.
It's amazing.
But did you share?
Well, I think with husband, I'm like with our stories, like of our life and stuff, I'm probably careful of what I say, to make sure, because he's not sitting there. Like if she was sitting there and you're on the radio, then she could be like in it with you,
I would tell, there isn't anything that I wouldn't say on the air that I wouldn't say with her sitting there.
Well, see, that's the greatest way to be.
There's nothing that I wouldn't say on the air. And there's times I refer to her because I know what she would say.
Really?
Yeah. 20 years with somebody, you already know what they're going to say.
Yeah, I'm still like, I'm closing in on 7 years of being with David. It'll be 6 in June of marriage, but I feel like I'm really getting to know him now.
You discover, and probably over this year, since you spent no more than 2 weeks together. So this year you realize, like, holy crap, that's what he does. Or
no, it's super interesting. Like, I kid you not. I think it was last week or the week before. I was like, I looked at him. I'm like, I like you.
like, I really think this could work.
And he goes, well, I really like you.
I think I like you.
I'm like, no, I really like you.
It's like, I don't just love you. I kind of like you.
You're fun. It's no, it's good. It's good. We are very lucky to have love, my friend.
Yes, I agree. And but it's understanding.
Oh, completely.
The love is the bonus. It's having the understanding is the better part, because
completely right.
This is just like your business. This is a very up and down.
Sure.
And it takes a very understanding person to be able to get what we do. And any radio person that's watching on this, on our network of stations, they understand. They get it. And they get through past relationships that literally, there's some relationships that don't work out because they don't get our job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, when you're in the business that we both are in individually and collectively, it all looks and sounds and it's all these things and it's shiny, right?
Right.
But there's also a whole lot of work and life that goes into everything. And it's so important to have that understanding and trust.
Yeah. And there's a lot to the job that you do, that there's a lot of work to get to the stage.
Yeah.
I think, oh yeah, you get to be on a bus and you get to travel and you see the world. It's like, you don't. You pull up and you set up, you play, you get back on the bus, probably go back to sleep. You wake up in another town. You have to have someone, your tour manager has to write what city you're on your run sheet, so that way you know exactly where you are, so you don't say the wrong sound.
Yeah.
And it really isn't as glamorous as people think it is.
Yeah. I think too, it's like, also what you just said about like having to write down where you are, I was like, really? But when you're in it, you're like, where are we? Like, I remember I don't know, somewhere in between Nevada and Arizona. And I think I was doing, like a little vlog or whatever. And I'm like, hey guys, I'm here in Las Vegas, Arizona. And it's like, I'm like, what? That's not right.
Like, whoa.
Where am I? Yeah, no, you're right. I do feel like artists as a whole got to kind of take a deep breath and just kind of, reinventorize. How do you say that word?
That would maybe prioritize.
Oh, there's the word, also known as
Reinventory. I like that word better.
Reinvent. You can borrow that tomorrow.
I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it on the air. In fact, I'm going to write it down.
Reinventors.
How about we do this? How about you do what you're thinking about, and then you think about naming your next EP "Emotional Support Donkey."
I mean, don't you think? Wait, hold on, because you're getting one of these for your little. Don't you think that it should probably come with a CD?
It should.
Like with little songs.
It should. Yeah. From the emotional support donkey.
Yeah.
That's right. I like that idea. By the time that the coloring book gets here, Landry could make it'll be awesome.
Oh, Landry's also getting colored pencils. Like he is gonna be like, and it comes with its own sharpener. You'll have the best day. I
cannot wait. I mean, I don't know if I'm actually more excited about this since he doesn't technically understand. I will be excited for him.
We don't know if he doesn't understand.
He can't say.
He just can't say. He might be like 3 months from now be like, Dad, when you were talking to me about the comic book.
And you know what? Tell Miss Stephanie that emotional support Donkey is actually a great name for a band and an EP.
Emotional Support Donkey, ESD.
Yeah. So there you go.
There you go.
Get that song up while we still have people watching.
Oh, I love you. If my math is right, you're about 3 drinks in. Bar stool sitting with Jack and Jim, taking their advice. Utterly on lies. Looks like you could use a friend. What you drink about? Boy, let's talk it out. Did you lose your one and only? Are you lonely? Should I get you another round? Slow that jukebox down. It's probably none of my business. I'm just thinking out loud. What you drink about? No, I can't resist those tipsy, heartbroken guys. And I can't lie, I could stay here all night. Couple hours till last call. Baby, you can have them all. Tell me what's on your mind. What you drinking about? Boy, let's talk it out. Did you lose your one and only? Are you lonely? Should I get you another round? Slow the jukebox down. It's probably none of my business. I'm just thinking out loud. What you drinking about? What you drinking about? Boy, let's talk it out. Did you lose your one and only? What you drinking about? Boy, let's talk it out. Did you lose your one and only? Are you lonely? Should I get you another round? Slow the jukebox down. It's probably none of my business. I'm just thinking out loud. What you drinking about? What you drinking about?
Ole. Once again, amazing as usual. And yeah, and oh, you got your wish too, because right in the middle of it, your internet connection kind of slowed down a little bit.
Stop it.
So the audio and the video was off a little bit, and then you kind of froze a little bit, and then you were kind of going in slow motion. So naturally, the slow motion you wanted happened. So
we talked about it earlier.
Dreams do come true.
So wait, let's show them what we were practicing.
Okay. What we were talking about was how the slowness of the internet and how sometimes you might freeze. And this just goes to show you why two people with ADHD should not have conversations on the interwebs.
I don't know. It might be some of the greatest conversations ever.
Okay. And to be honest with you, nobody was able to pick the brick.
Oh, really?
Nobody got it right.
Should we tell them?
We're going to have to tell them now because we're done. But
this
not
is
real.
Wallpaper from Target.
It's wallpaper from Target. This, my friends, that's rock. You don't get any better than that.
No. This is giant stickers.
Stickers.
It's amazing. But it does look pretty real.
And no, it does. It looks real. Actually, it looks more real than mine. And mine's actually real brick.
It's, hey, story of real life.
Absolutely. All these people on here, Cassandra, Kelsey, JB, Sherry, and your list of Quayle. You have a massive list of Quayle that keep talking. And so you are going to be able to go back. Paul, there's so many people on here that are so proud to be a part of your flock of Quayle. And it's so neat to see you have such a strong audience that will. You are. Patriot Paul. He said, don't forget about Patriot Paul.
Pete.
So there you go. So see, you got, well, look at that, Paul. You got a personal shout out.
Picture Paul is awesome. It's a lot of our Boston crew right there.
Oh, wait, you've got a lot of folks watching. So I appreciate you taking time to do this.
Always.
I always hand out this invite to come to Amarillo. First off, secondly, we have the Big Texan here, and the Big Texan is a place where you can eat a 72-ounce steak.
I'm sorry, how many ounces?
That'd be 72 ounces. That's 5 pounds, in case you're curious. And you can eat a 5-pound steak. But the thing of it is, you have to do it in an hour.
Really?
And not only that, you have to eat a salad. I think it's a baked potato, literally the size of your head. But it's a massive amount of food. You have to eat it in an hour. And all of it. And yeah. Oh, there's people that do it. There's people that do it.
What do you get?
Well, first off, you don't have to pay for it, so it's free. If you
put your name on the wall of like this.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's a wall of fame out there at the Big Texan where these people have eaten, and you don't just sit at a table. You sit on a stage, and there's a clock, and they time you, and yeah, it's big time.
So this is a competition sport, is what you're saying.
This is on the level of food competition eating. But on top of that, their food is fantastic. And the moral of that story is there's a venue out there. The owner of that place actually has a venue called Starlight.
Oh, cool.
And it's an outside shell that has an outdoor place. And I want to get you there to come and play. And we could do that. So
amazing. So wait, have you eaten?
I can't.
Steak?
I can't do it. There's no way. I mean, I know I like probably EJ look like I could play part, but
I would throw down for the team. He'd be like, I'll do that for us.
EJ would do that. That's why I love him.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, he is. But yes, that's what we need to just bring EJ. You guys can all come over here and we'll set you up a show.
Yeah.
And we'll do that, and we can go hang out the Big Texan. And Bobby Lee is a good man. He'll take good care of you. But I bring that I say that's because I want to bring all you guys who come who are doing this the show, the lounge. I want you guys to come here.
I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna do some Googling after this. And I'm gonna go
BigTexan.com. People are already looking it up. A lot of
you up right now.
Quayle are already starting to look up and see.
That's a big piece of meat.
That really is. That really is. So there you go.
Well, I can't. And if I can't partake, maybe I could be the referee.
You could. And that's what we should do. And think about find things around your house that weigh 5 pounds. And then think about it's that much worth of meat. I mean, you do you guys raise cattle. So you have to think about 5 pounds of meat is a lot of meat.
Oh yeah, friend. That's a lot.
It's a lot of meat. And not only that, like I said, you gotta eat the 5 pounds, but you gotta eat the baked potato, and there's a salad and like a big roll. It's a man's meal. I do not qualify. It is a man's meal. I can't do it. But there have been girls that have done that. I will say there's girls up on the wall that have killed that. There is a girl on the wall. I've only been out there once, but there's a girl on the wall that did it in like 40 something minutes. And
she's awesome.
She's no bigger than that. And
she's tiny.
Okay,
all right. I'm gonna do some investigation.
Train. I'm gonna have you start training.
Train.
Start training.
Just ate 4 pounds.
All the flock of quail want to see you do it because all of them are on here going, oh, she can do it. She can do it. Set her up. Hook her up. Make it happen.
I mean, now I kind of want to see what that looks like. And I'm kind of, you didn't eat for a couple of days. Like you could probably do it.
See, if you think about all those competitive eaters, let's say all the guys that eat the hot dogs at July 4th,
Yeah.
See, I couldn't do that. I
There's
couldn't.
probably actually a whole preparatory eating program prior to. There's a lot of things in that sentence.
Yeah, that's a lot of $10 words I didn't pay for. All
Well,
right.
you can get word.com in your inbox every day.
I'm not smart. I've already said that from the beginning. From the time this conversation started almost an hour ago, which I've kept you 40 minutes longer than I told you I would, but I think we've had a great conversation.
We're catching up on life. It's
We had
important.
fun, and we miss having conversations.
Yes.
So I miss getting a chance to visit with you. So I'm glad we were able to do this. But you are always welcome here anytime. If we can figure out a way to get you here and get you a show, if we can't do it this year, I know that in the spring I'm really starting to plan putting some shows together, and I would love to have you on that where you can come and play here, and it would be my honor to have you back on one of my shows, because that's exactly why we do this. I do this to be able to get you guys to be able to come and be able to play and have a good time.
Well, it means the world. Thank you for supporting us, because
you're very welcome. And I love you saying us.
Well, it is.
There's a lot of you. There's a lot of us. And believe me, I know it takes a lot to pull off what you do. And it's not a solo venture. There's a lot going on. So I'm waiting on the coloring book and the coloring pencils. Yeah. And so we'll make sure by the time you get it, Landry will know what to do with it if he doesn't try to eat it, because everything's going in his mouth now. He has no teeth, but
that's true.
So we
try to have the color for him a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, we don't stay in the lines.
Yeah. Hey, why would we?
You don't win staying in the lines. Keep that in mind. If Uncle Scott teaches you nothing today, you don't win by staying in the lines.
Boom.
Boom. Said and done.
We're not even add to it. That's how we're ending this segment.
And yeah. And emotional support donkey.
I'm gonna send you pictures of Minnie P tomorrow. She was fired up today. Woo!
Please do. The more videos, the better. If he gets all fired up, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
I will introduce you to my friend. Allie, who has another mini donkey named Marty. Yeah, and Marty is probably one of my favorite things I watch on Instagram, because she puts videos up of Marty all the time. So I will introduce you to, and then you two can be mothers.
We'll have a donkey exchange.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You can start a Facebook group.
Yeah.
And yeah.
For those with mini donkeys.
Exactly.
It's going to be great.
Please stay out of trouble. Please.
Get into enough trouble.
Please be careful. And I send nothing but love to South Carolina.
Thank you.
And please, if you need anything, please feel free to reach out to us at any time.
I you and adore you. Thank you for having me. And to all the flock of quail, we love you. I cannot wait to see you guys. And be sure to go on to the Flock of Quail page for some top secret things coming soon. There you go. Flock of Quail page. You guys, I can assure you, everyone on this list knows where that is. Yes, they do. They're awesome. Stay on there, because she's going to have some cool stuff for you. So, always. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it very much. Great one. Yeah, all right. Man, was that not fun? She is just a ball of fun. I love visiting with her. We went a whole lot longer than I thought, and thank you guys for sticking around. We had so much fun. That is when conversations are just good. You get a chance to visit with who you consider friends, and someone who's got an immense amount of talent. And she definitely has that. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to the Flock of Quail that was in here. You guys were so sweet, sending so many questions and all those things. I tried to get to all of you, but as you could tell, when Stephanie and I get to talking, it's like one ADD child talking to another ADD child. And, do you want to go play on the swings? Do you want to go on the slide? It's that. So I know you guys tried, and I appreciate that. And believe me, we all do.
But yeah, when you deal with two of us that way, it's definitely a lot of fun. But no, thank you guys. I could not have done that without you. You guys made it legitly a lot of fun. And yes, I'm going to write that name down because legitly is not a word. Legitly. All right, there. Thank you for everything, guys. We do this every Tuesday night, and it is just a lot of fun. And feel free to come back and hang out with us. I know it's not the Flock of Quayle every Tuesday, although you would love for that to be that way. I think Stephanie and I would actually have a great show if we did that. So we should just think about doing that. So tell Stephanie that's what we should do. We should have a Flock of Quayle. We should just do it every Tuesday night. I'll host it, and then she'll sing. And here's the key. She'll do the same 2 songs. Doesn't matter. Same week. She does the same 2 songs. It's almost like, like Groundhog Day. Cassandra, who's coming next week? That's a good question. Can I suggest an artist to host? Oh, so you want Stephanie to host. What am I supposed to do, Sherry, if I let Stephanie host? Because this is part of my job. This is part of my work release with prison. If I don't do this, I have to go back to jail. So I don't know what you expect me to do. Do I only have a country artist, because that's what we do. Yeah. But I thank you guys for sticking around. I'm not sure I would have. We got to babbling a little too much, but it's been awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for doing this. The fans are phenomenal. But thank you for hanging around. And I appreciate that. Everybody, all you guys have been so sweet. Every one of the Flock of Quayle said some nice things. So thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys being so sweet. It means the world to me. Sherry, Gabby Barrett is actually on the list. We have her coming. She's probably going to be around next month. But Cassandra, thank you for watching. Sherry, Paul, everybody who wrote questions. And I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of you, but I mean, there was just a tremendous amount of you guys that were on there, and I could not thank you more. But yes, every Tuesday night, feel free to come back. And all the stations that were on along the broadcast tonight, thank you so much, all of our Alpha Country stations. And thank you for tuning in. And like I said, we do this every Tuesday night. And we'll announce Tennille Towns. Yes. Tennille Towns, we're working on that right now. I had Tennille Arts on a few weeks ago, not the other Tennille. So I had the other Tennille. So yeah, we are working on those. Thank you for all but stay in touch. You know how to find us, our YouTube channel, and everybody. We would love to please stay in contact with us. And yes, please keep tuning in. But I appreciate you guys being here. It means the world to me. And have a great night. And I'll see you guys next week.